This conference will now be recorded.
Hey, hi everyone. Good morning, all. Uh, Welcome to Career IT. So, before I proceed with the demo, right? So, I would like to have little bit of introduction about yourself. Then I'll go with my introduction, and then we'll go with your demo part. So, anyone would like to introduce yourself, like just your name, where are you working? Are you a student? Are you switching your career? Okay. Are you from a different domain? Anything, one or two lines, right? Would be great to proceed with the demo. Like make this session more interactive so that like you will gain some knowledge, you will get your clarity, like you'll get a good clarity on like what is a journey for your DevOps. Okay. So that will make me also easy to understand like what is your domain, like what level currently are you. Okay. So from which background currently you are working, right? That will help me to take this demo in a different direction. That is only the reason here. So feel free, right? There's no compulsion, but feel free. Anyone? If someone is speaking, Netaji, right?
Yes.
Little bit louder if you could be, would be great, right? I'm on my 100% of volume.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better.
Hello everyone. My name is Netaji. I've done my master's in health informatics. I got graduated in last May. Back in India, I've done my PharmD. Uh, Here in
Okay.
masters, I've done health informatics. Uh, that is all about me. So
Okay,
I'm from the
great.
non-IT field.
Wonderful, right? Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, hi everyone. This is Vijayalakshmi Pratyusha. I have done my master's in healthcare informatics. It's done in December. And back in India, I have done my PharmD, same as Netaji. And I'm completely new to software and like DevOps, everything.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone? Anyone else would like to go?
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Preeti, and I just completed my master's last year in computer science from New Jersey. I'm just want to make my career in IT field. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to go? More 5 minutes we'll spend here and then we'll move on. Okay, fine. That's absolutely fine. Maybe people may not be comfortable in speaking up. It's fine. Okay. Now, coming to myself, my name is Sagar. I am the trainer for this DevOps in AWS. So I'll be teaching you end-to-end DevOps in AWS. Coming to my uh, journey of career. So I started my career in 2011 as an intern to Wipro, Bangalore. Then I worked in Wipro for around 3 years as a DevOps engineer. So initially 1 year I started as Linux admin because I was trained as an intern in a data centers, whereas to manage all the machines and everything. So that is where I got to a chance to start my career as DevOps right after that 1 year. So from there my journey started. Then I moved to a company called TCS in Hyderabad. Then I moved to a company called Ultimetric, which is a product based company. And from there a client hired me to Mastercard. So currently I'm working in Mastercard. I'm a working employee. I'm a team lead there. I lead 10 people under me who work, and parallel in the morning times I teach individual batches. We take some consultancy batches. We also have few corporate batches which comes to our institutes. There are folks, lot of folks from US, UK, London. Okay, those folks join us to learn the courses here, right? So that is where that is what a brief intro about myself. So moving on, this would be the today's agenda. This would be today's agenda where we'll be covering your DevOps overview, cloud computing, okay, your AWS cloud engineering, and the most important thing is the industries. Industries using DevOps in AWS. So you have to understand this one. This is a major chunk of your career where you have to see that which all places you're going to get job. Okay, which all industries. I'm not talking about this I'm not talking about your companies. I'm talking about the industries which will lead you for getting the job. And then you have something called accelerating career. That means what is your journey? The journey when you start for your career, right? So how the journey should be there, what should be the roadmap for your career, and how do you reach your destination. Okay, so we'll speak about those. Then before I go more into this agenda, just few prerequisites so that people will have little bit of a doubt, okay, a confusion in the mind, right? What is this, what is my work, right? So what all things going to be in the work, right? So just a prerequisite kind of a thing which will give you some clarity before you go more into this demo, right? So very first, time and patience, guys. Remember that DevOps is one of the digital course. You go and search in the internet. Among the top 10 courses, one of the course is your DevOps, and that too listed in top 5. So DevOps is the one which is leading the market today, which is booming the market. And why I'm talking about time and patience, because have patience, the fruitful result will come to you. Okay, because maybe initially you may start little bit slow in terms of your salary, in terms of your growth, but once you have experience like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, the career growth, you'll see the ladder, okay, jumping on, right? You'll see the packages, the salaries, you'll see even you'll get a salary which is more than a developers. You say, right, a colleges teach you like Java, C++, or your database, any computer science course you take, they'll teach you. But today I say that DevOps is getting more salary from any of the development courses you learn in the market. Then basics of Linux and shell scripting. So you require a prerequisite like a Linux operating system and a shell scripting. But don't worry, we are not teaching you the basics here. We are covering the advanced level of, because every job description we see, we have observed that people are asking Linux admin. So we are adding a Linux admin course in this, where we'll be taking you driving to 1.5 to 2 weeks. Almost 70% of Linux admin, which is required for a complete journey of DevOps and AWS, we are covering that. Okay, that is advanced level of that. We are covering it so that that will add a weightage to your resume. Okay, that will help you in the interview process, and also you learn troubleshooting out of it. That is where the idea behind this. Then anyone is passionate can quick start their career as a DevOps engineer. There is no hard prerequisite. Don't worry that you're from non-IT background, you're from a different domain. No, that doesn't matter at all, because you're starting from the scratch. We have students who are from civil engineering, who are from electrical background. There are students who have done the MBBS. Okay, they worked for some internship or something. They left there, they came here. So like MBA people are there, BBA people are there. We have BCom students. So a lot of different category students are there who have started their career and they are progressing their journey in DevOps, right? And we don't require any programming knowledge. We don't do any kind of a coding. We don't do any kind of a programming. Okay, just to clear. So doesn't matter you're from which background, you can start your career. We have people from non-IT background who started their, like they were working Google Maps, some are working in IBM as a process associate, right? So those people also started their career from DevOps. Going to the course outline. This is the course outline where you have introduction to DevOps world. So this module is important. Okay, when you go for the interview. Second thing, it is very important when you sit in the client round also, because people will ask you what is your understanding of DevOps, because DevOps has some process. That process you have to understand, okay, to use this technology. So that process is very important to understand, and also it helps you in interview when you speak about this, right? So that is where we have added this module to understand what is DevOps. Then we have Linux admin, then you have DevOps tools, then you have AWS cloud engineering, and the most important thing is interview guidance there. So it doesn't matter you're experienced, you're a fresher, you're from different background. End of the day, you have to crack your interview. So you this guidance is very important, because any interview you go, it's 50-50. 50% is technical, 50% is your the level of cracking the interview, the confidence, the mindset, the way you answer the question, right? All these things matters. Fine. Now Unmuted. Yeah, it's unmuted. You come back. So this is the course overview. We are teaching you 15 plus tools here, okay, with your AWS cloud engineering according to the market standards. These are the standard tools available in the market. And then we'll be driving to 6 DevOps projects in between. It is not that at the end we'll be sitting it. No, it is in the between. As soon as you complete your few tools, we'll be doing your projects, giving you real-time exposure, how your project looks, how your day-to-day activity looks, okay, what will be your job, okay, what will be your role. All these things will be explaining you in detail, right? So that in between, if some interview comes to you or you start applying the jobs in between, if something gets to you, you should have some content to speak. So that is where we are making you prepare for the interview as well in middle of your course itself. Now this is the prerequisite. Now hope you guys might have got your course content, but still I'll drive you. So this is your Linux administration. We are covering almost 70% of the course, where we are keeping a good amount of content so that you can gain some good knowledge and have a weightage. Behind every tool, there are scenario based questions. Okay, we have like this, all these tools, okay, for your DevOps journey, okay, which will help you to get a good job. Then you have your cloud, okay. Then you have your cloud engineering. We are covering a good amount of services here, okay. And these are all what you're putting is a real time architectures, like what a company uses, the same architecture I'll be putting here. Your Terraform automation, your monitoring tools, which will add your weightage to your profile, right? We are also covering these monitoring tools because people are looking for something called SRE today, okay, site reliable engineering, DevOps with SRE. So they will ask a little bit of monitoring as well. And then the interview guidance, we'll be having interview guidance as well, where we'll speak about your resume preparation, self introduction, technical rounds, HR rounds, grooming from technical to non-technical, the behavior and mindset skills, right? How do you switch your job from non-technical to technical, okay? How do you prepare your resume? All that things we'll speak in here. Then we have additional information. We share it everything what we have. There's no restriction that you can't download something, you don't use it, right? Because we want students to use it in their free time whenever they are available. And also prepare everything once, guys, because the journey which you're going to prepare is for next 25 years, or already if you're in the career of IT, at least minimum 15 to 20 years will be the plan. In that situation, again, when you jump a new company, you go for a new company, you have to do the same thing again. So why don't you learn this all once, prepare yourself, okay, so that whenever new company comes, you are easily switching these things, right? And just for kind information, again I'm saying, like, this PPTs and everything is not shareable, and we don't run this PPT. This PPT is alone not shareable because it's not useful for you. And whatever the uh, syllabus we are covering, so everything we share in the form of notepads, okay, notepads, PDFs. So these are all our previous classes which we are running currently. So all these are previous classes which are running. If you see this one batch, currently one batch is going on. This is one last August batch, so one Feb batch which was is coming to end now. So all that notes what we have, we share it to you along with the diagrams and everything, whatever it is that they'll share it to you on the daily basis. You'll get it, fine. Then moving on. So this is how we draw the technical diagrams. How in your company, what is the process, right? How you do the deployments, how do you do the build, how do you build it. So all this end-to-end integration with the tools we cover it. Okay, your VPC architecture, the real-time architecture for your cloud, right? So how your VPC networking is defined, how your application is secured, how do you attach a load balancer, how do you do the health check, okay, how do you do the auto scaling whenever there's a load on the website, right? Then your, how do you create your own website, okay, how do you register your own website, or how do you create your own domain, right? Domain register, we'll be creating a domain register, we'll be working on that, right? So that website can be accessed from anywhere, okay. So your Ansible deployments, your Kubernetes deployments, your VM based deployments, all these things are defined by a structure, right? We draw the architectural diagram what should be the flow, inflow and outflow. Okay, how do you build it, how do you deploy it, how do you validate it, right? All these things are explained right after that stool so that you can implement your knowledge. So daily, like, we'll be having a 1 hour of class in which 30 minutes will be theoretical, 30 minutes will be practical. So 30 minutes will explain you in the diagrams, your notes and everything, and 30 minutes will do the practical. Because theory is also important, guys, because you require content to speak in the interview. In the interview, no one will ask you go and execute this command, go and run this program, right? Because you don't have time, that much time is not there. So prepare for your interview as well, that is also an important part of this, right? So this is about the prerequisite. Okay, just a glimpse. So I'll take some 5 to 10 minutes now. I'll just brief about your DevOps and everything, just get some understanding of that. Then we'll see some real-time exposure, like where DevOps is used, how it is used, etc. things. And then I'll move to technical diagrams. In between, I'll give you like twice or thrice some question and answer sessions where you can clarify your doubts and everything. Right. So just more 10 minutes. I'll drive it, and then we'll go for question and answers. Then we'll move on to the technical diagram where we'll see what would be the career for you, how you will start your journey, what would be the day-to-day activities. I'll give you overview of each and every tool we have, and I'll show you the flow, how it glows, how it goes, how it ends, right? So how it starts, how it ends, all that flow I'll show you. Now, the basics. Let's skip to the basics. What is DevOps in simple terms? Okay, because like this is a demo, I have a limited time, so I need to drive this PPT. Otherwise, everything we use a whiteboard for driving it. Now, moving on, what is DevOps? DevOps, the keyword, if you see this, Dev and Ops, why it is capital letters? Because there are two teams involved. Dev for developers who write the coding, operation belongs to us. Okay, DevOps engineer, cloud engineers, these people who does the operation people. So we are the operational guys and these are the developers, fine. So they brought a keyword called DevOps. Now what is this DevOps? So DevOps is a process, it's a practice, it's a culture, it's a philosophy of operation development engineers participating together in the entire life cycle, right from design through the development process to production. That means right from you build the product till it goes live in the market, that is your DevOps. So DevOps is a process where two teams, operation development, work together to build a quality product. Okay, right from design till it goes live in the market. But why DevOps? Question arises, why do we require DevOps? So here, previously, when we had, okay, when we didn't have this DevOps, there was something called your build and release. You have something called your build and release. So we had a technology called build and release technology. So in this technology, take an example why this build and release technology failed in the market and DevOps came in the market. So see this traditional development, right? So there are like traditional development. In this development, imagine that developers are building a spare part, because this DevOps process came from a car showroom. Okay, it came from a car manufacturing company where they wanted a process for building the car. So so this traditional development in which developer is preparing all the spare parts of the car, is preparing all the spare parts of the car, and once the spare parts are created, he's giving a good documentation to this operational person. So he is looking at the documentation, he's fixing all that car spare parts, and car is started, the sold to the customer took it, they drive it to the 100 kilometers. After driving to the 100 kilometers, the car stopped at some point. Now, whose mistake is there that the product which the company delivered has stopped in some point, right? Now, customer is coming with a feedback saying that my car is stopped. I have paid lakhs of amount, okay, and the customer will give the same feedback to his friends, colleagues, office people, everything. It's common, right? When we use a product, we give a feedback either it's bad or good. Now, customer is giving a bad feedback. Why that mistake happened? This person has the end-to-end knowledge of the product. Okay, this person is an integration engineer who is just integrating and using it, but he will also get some idea when these two people work together and try to fix it. If they have tested today's car, you see how they're testing the cars, dashing the car to the wall, crash test. Okay, they have good what do you call, sensors to the car. We have a proper auto steering. Okay, you have a proper like sunroof, right? Etc. Things are there in the car which are automated. Also today, like there are some bots are coming in the car where you like automatically it will speak, right? When you speak, right? So that robotics features are everything is added in that, where people are getting enhanced features. So that's the reason this dev and operation, traditional development operation failed, because these people didn't work together. They didn't test the product quality. The product which they're building, the car which they're building, the software they're building, that was never tested properly. That's the reason this failing in the market. It failed in the market, and that is where they thought that why don't we club these two people, dev and ops, okay, and create a word called DevOps, where these people will be working in the individual task only, but they'll collaborate whenever the product is released. So because a company's goal is what? Selling the product. It's not that every employee will work individually and they'll go, right? It's a company goal, so everyone should collaborate, build the final product and sell from that company, right? So there is where they wanted this DevOps and dev and ops working together to get a quality product out of it. Okay, check all the loops, what are the feedback loops, what we have, okay, what are the learnings we are gaining, okay, how it looks real time, right? So think as a customer and then they delivered it. So that is where they wanted dev and ops to work together to build a quality product because today's market everyone expecting a quality product or software or anything, right? Any website also you see today, that is a very good quality website. Why? Because your transaction should never fail. When you're adding a product, it should never fail to add to cart, right? All that things matters here. So there is where they brought the process. Then where is the technology? From that time I'm saying DevOps is a process, DevOps is a process. Then where is your technology? Now, this DevOps is a practice where operation development engineers partner together in the entire life cycle. That means right from the product is designed till it goes in the life cycle, these two people work. Now, what is this life cycle? This is the life cycle. So, continuous planning, code and build, integration, testing, deployment, feedback, improvement. Simple, right? When you decide to create a phone, for example, a company has decided to launch a phone. In that launching process, what they want, they have to do a good planning. What is my design of the phone, what is my code inside, what is the features of that, how do you integrate this phone with multiple things, right? How do you test that phone, how do you deploy it in the real time, right? How do you get a feedback from the customer, how do you improve that? Because if you see today iPhone 15 plus is there, maybe 16 may come, after that 16 plus 17 may come, right? Then monitoring, today all your devices are monitored. We think it's not monitored, everything is monitored, right? That is where you get a updates, software updates you get to your system, right? Your system, your laptop, your TV, smart TV, your internet router is monitored. So things are getting monitored by companies so that the customer never face issue. Okay, so that is where this is the life cycle you require. Then where is the tools again? So what this process wanted, they wanted to implement this DevOps process. They wanted to implement this DevOps process. To implement this DevOps process, they brought a life cycle. To manage this life cycle, they brought a DevOps tools. That means behind every life cycle, there are some tools. That is where your 15 tools which I told you, right? That will fit yours. And continuous planning, ticketing tools, Jira, ServiceNow, everything, right? Build your Maven, Git, your JFrog will come here. Integration, your CI, right? CI, Jenkins, your testing, SonarCube, your deployment, Ansible, Docker, Kubernetes, okay, your Terraform, then all your monitoring level of tools. So this is where your tools fits. So DevOps technology came in the market, but initially DevOps is a process. So DevOps is a process, okay, for where operation development work together to build a quality product right from the design till it goes live in the market. But to implement this entire process, we require a life cycle, and behind this life cycle our tools are sitting. That is where your DevOps tools came in the market. That is where your DevOps tools came in the market. Now, who is a DevOps engineer? So DevOps engineer is a IT professional, guys. We are no more a support people. Previously, they were like Linux admin, network admins. All the people are moving to your cloud now. So we are IT professional because how much a developer has an importance, more than that we have a importance. Why we have more importance? In simple terms, if you see your See your Mintra or see your Amazon.com. Anything is fine, right? Anything Amazon, Mintra, everything. Do you see a lot of changes daily in this website? Hardly we see changes, right? All the tabs are similar. Here and there, one or two pages will change it, but rest of the thing, everything is common. That means when initially this Amazon website was about to build, lot of demand was there for the developer. Lot of demands for that for developers, because developers writing this one, lot of demand was there. Once the Amazon is up and it is stable, hardly they'll do the release sales or big billion sale or some new launches. They do it small things. But once it is up, now the work of operation guys starts from here till Amazon is dying. Is Amazon going to shut down their business? Amazon will never shut down. Are there online websites getting closed? That is not going to close. Company is growing, right? Business is growing. So imagine that your job is available in the market until your websites are available. So, and any of the website will not go so easily. Okay, your real-time websites are associated. So now, so that is where I'm saying there you have a good career there, a developer, because your even tomorrow if Amazon want to shut down, still you have a job for at least 2 to 3 years, because you have to remove the complete infrastructure, you have to do everything again. In the removal of the company also, employee will be there, because we have that much demand in the market, which is booming in the market, right? Okay, we are responsible for managing the website. That means we don't see the errors part, we see that website is opening or not, is the website running or not. That is with the help of DevOps tools. So we are DevOps tools are very smart and intelligence, where it will make sure your websites, your product or software is always functioning properly. Okay, always functioning your properly. Now, so he's an IT professional who works with software developers, system operators, other production staff for code releases. That means we are responsible for releasing a application or a website, okay, in the production environment. Then DevOps should have a hard and soft skills to communicate and collaborate with development. So basically, you require hard and soft skills today in terms of interview, also in terms of your team collaboration also. Then DevOps engineer will work with development team to tackle the code and scripting needed to connect elements to the code, right? So in simple terms, we will be doing a scripting. What do you mean by scripting? Simple, right? Take 10 commands, put that 10 commands in sequential order and trigger the file. That is your scripting. So scripting is a sequential order of execution. Something you do sequential order of execution to achieve an automation. That is your shell scripting. Okay, that is your shell scripting. Right? Now, roles and responsibilities. Roles and responsibilities of a DevOps engineer. There are full-time work. You have a full-time workers now. There is no contract jobs. Certain places like the company has a policy. We can't help it, but there's a huge demand in the market because they're not getting the right candidates. Because what people are doing, right, people are learning like just few advanced tools or something and going on, but they ask the basics, they don't have the idea. So don't do that, learn the complete journey and then go for interview. So then they are responsible of production and ongoing maintenance of software application platform, that means the website. Okay, and then DevOps engineer should have a CI/CD skills, contains integration, contains deployment, all the tools related to this we are covering it. Then should have any one of the cloud called AWS, Azure and GCP. We are covering your AWS here. Why? Because AWS has a huge market is very huge for AWS. Okay, market is very huge for your AWS, because AWS came in the beginning and a lot of companies attached to AWS. Azure and GCP, there is a market, but it is little bit slow because it just started recently. So that's the reason the market is little bit low. Then able to perform system troubleshooting and problem solving across platform domains. So that means troubleshooting. Every behind every tool will be covering troubleshooting. Will be teaching you what level of troubleshooting will come, and then manage your cloud operations. So however we are covering a good amount of cloud operations, we'll be doing all that cloud operations. And then automation also we're covering like 4 different tools like your Jenkins, Terraform, Ansible and your shell scripting. Fine. Now moving on. Now just one question, right? Early in the morning, anyone who wakes up, what they do? First thing, in today's world people will touch their phones, right? They see their WhatsApp, they see the Instagram, they see their Snapchat. Okay, they see if they have someone have a habit of watching the news, someone has a habit of listening the songs, or someone has a habit of doing some other thing, right? Or having their smartphone enabled with your tracking their health check and everything, right? For their walkings and everything, right? When they go for a walk or for some reason, right? So here, why I bought this point is because DevOps is not only in the software industry. Just to clear your mind, DevOps is not only in software industry. That means it's not just a software companies you go and search the job. You search in entire industries. Why I'm saying this? Because it's your time to, it's a high time to research yourself, guys. If everyone goes to the software where only the jobs will be sufficient, it is highly impossible. Every person switching from different technology what is learning is coming to your DevOps because it is giving you the high market. That's the reason however this DevOps process was implemented for multiple things. So that is where every industry there's a job. Okay, every industry just cross check here. Companies like Amazon, Bristow, Microsoft, okay, industry secure, DevOps, and Netflix is using it. Okay, Netflix requires it, your Amazon requires it. Okay, your Google's uses your DevOps, Netflix uses it. So cross check, right? Multiple companies are there, multiple companies which are using it. Apple, Disney, Hotstar, your Flipkart, okay, Starbucks, okay, your Spotify, your TCS, your MNCs. So multiple places, right? Multiple places it is being used. So explore everywhere, guys, because end of the day is the job. End of the day is the job which you need to crack. So explore which all places my DevOps is used, which all company is using my AWS. Okay, biggest customers of AWS. You can check your Apple, you can check your industries using your AWS, all that things. And then Microsoft, Netflix, okay, all that extra things which you have it here. Okay, all the extra things which you have it here. Then salary, okay, salary for your DevOps engineer. So this is an Indian based salary. If you go for US, UK and everything, there are like huge salaries out. Okay, a lot of openings for your Dubai. Okay, I have seen like a lot of openings for your uh, uh, Japan. Okay, a lot of openings are there for UK. Okay, so just cross check, right? Cross check, like even there are remote jobs where people are sitting from India and working for a DevOps engineer for US based companies, right? So just check that and then check your openings daily basis. Just 2 days ago, 7 days ago, 1 day ago, lot of openings are coming, guys. Lot of openings are hitting the profile. Checked in LinkedIn, searching multiple sites are there where you need to search it. So you only thing is when to apply it, keep applying the jobs. In a day at least apply 20 jobs. In a day at least apply 20 jobs because there are huge number of companies. You keep applying, click a button, just a matter of clicking a button or filling a form, right? Keep your resume ready and keep uploading it daily basis. Okay, that is where you have to do it. That is how you get a calls. That is how you get can crack the interview. So interview is all about experience. Until you experience, things will not be visible to you, right? The things will not be clear. Okay, it will not be visible to you in such a way where you see the reality of the interview, right? That is very important. So go for the interview. Don't get worry about that. I am from different background. Nothing. Just sit in the interview. What will happen? Just matter of 1 hour, right? You will shoot out some questions. You answer it based on what you know it, and go ahead with that. Fine. No. So see this industry is automobile today. Every car showroom requires a website. You require a DevOps engineer because DevOps, your DevOps tools are managing this entire websites behind the scenes. That is where, right, whenever you open the internet, you open the internet and you open your WhatsApp, it is up and running. Instagram is up and running. You scroll so many reels in Instagram, right? That AWS. So where it is stored? It is stored in AWS, AWS cloud. You have a YouTube. YouTube has so much of data, right? So much of videos. It is stored in your, again, AWS. Your Netflix, your Disney Hotstar, all these things are using your DevOps and AWS for your DevOps for managing the website, AWS for your cloud storage, okay, cloud services and etc. They are using it. So there's a huge demand. Even banks today, you don't go to bank, right? You can do for everything from your online banking and everything. Then your social media, right? Your Facebook, your Instagram, etc. Things, all these things are available. Your health services today, your medicines are online. Today your consultation is online, right? All that thing. Then your education is online. Today we're connected online only. Then your e-commerce, okay, e-commerce website, right? Your Amazon, Flipkart, likewise lot of e-commerce websites are there. Okay, so just, okay, most high paid jobs in financial techs. Financial institutes and banking pays the most highest salary because That is a evergreen business, right, which keeps on running, that keeps on running, it never stops. Fine. Now, at least one person, guys, now you got at least one person where DevOps is used, where we are using DevOps, at least one person. Any questions? Open for questions. So everything, and imagine that one more thing. Do you think all these websites which are using today is only used by literate people or the educated people? It's used by a people who is sitting in the village also. He uses YouTube. He sees the Netflix. He sees the Disney WhatsApp. He uses his WhatsApp to communicate. He uses Instagram for some other activities, right? So imagine that these tools are associated with the population. As the population is growing, the demand for these tools will grow. Okay, demands will go, and that many jobs opening will come. That many jobs opening will come because every person who is starting a business, he's doing both offline and online. He has an online website and he's doing it offline, right? Both the places they're doing it. So imagine that the job which we have for DevOps is associated with the population, and population is never going to stop, guys. It is going to increase. As number of people are increasing, the number of websites are increasing, the number of demand for DevOps is increasing. Okay, so that is where we have lot of opportunities. Even we have a government jobs like DRDO, AI, Airport Authority of India. Like a lot of government jobs also provide you DevOps engineer kind of a jobs. Fine. I'll take a pause here. I'll go for question and answers. Any question, any answer is a like anything you want to like ask question answer, right? You want to speak something, you want to say something, anything is, the forum is open. You can like go and speak anything whichever you want to ask. You can ask. Anything, any questions, any queries, any doubts, anything is fine.
Hello?
Yeah,
Like how long it's gonna take for the whole session, whole class,
maybe
till I finish
more,
it off?
half an hour or like
No, no, I mean
40
not
minutes.
this session.
This
I mean the
session,
whole
okay,
course.
entire course.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so entire course will go minimum like 2 to 2.5 months.
Okay.
I would say like session would go around like 70 to 80 hours of session.
Okay. Yeah.
Anyone else, any doubts, any questions? Okay, let's understand little bit of technical things. Okay, now come back. So let me start from very basic. So let's assume that there's a company called TCS. Okay, this is one of the biggest service-based company, and this company has multiple clients. So imagine that one of the client is your Mintra. Okay, Mintra is one of the online shopping website which is selling their products. So these people sign a contract with your TCS. Okay, saying that we require a website and your infrastructure maintenance. Website and infrastructure maintenance. Website and infrastructure maintenance. Now there are different teams. Okay, so now you have to understand the different teams because the company, the clients, and the contract is done. But now question arises, who will assign you the work? Who is the person who is going to interact with the clients, right? So understand the different teams whom you're going to interact in the daily basis. So very first is your product team. Okay, product team. where you have product managers. So these are your business analyst, product manager, MBA professionals who are responsible for gathering the entire details about this, right? Responsible for gathering the details. Second one, okay. Second is your, so these people, product managers, they are responsible for gathering the complete details about the website. What is the design? Okay, what should be the budget? What is the cost? What is the infrastructure requirement? All that things these people will ask. Then you have development team, there where your developers are there. So in this again you have like multiple developers, they give a back end, front end, and your database. So database engineers you call, or database developers you call it. Okay, all this different things. Then third is your operational team. So what are these backend developers responsible for? They're responsible for managing the, so they're responsible for developing the application. That means developing the website's application, right? So they'll be writing the coding and everything. They're responsible for writing the code. Now the third people are your operational operational team, where you have your, okay, DevOps engineers. Okay, we are responsible for what? We are responsible for managing the entire DevOps tools, your cloud operations, and your websites, and the websites, right? And the fourth one is a QA team, a quality assurance team, quality assurance team, where you have quality assurance engineers, a quality assurance engineers, right? Now, these are the four different teams which you interact with. Now, the product team is the one which is responsible for gathering requirement, and that team will assign the work to all the three. Assign the work to all the three. That means we will be working with all these teams for your day-to-day operation, because we want to work in a DevOps culture, right? Where everyone should interact with each other so that they can build a quality product. They can build a quality product. End of the, what the company's goal is there, that goal you have to achieve it, right? So now your product team will assign the work to you. Now, who will start the work? Who is going to start the work first? So work is going to be started by your, so developers are the one who will be starting your work. Developers are the one who is going to start your work. So developer, what they'll do is, so now developers will store all the code. What are the code they have written? They'll store it here. So doesn't matter for us what code they are writing. That is up to the developers mark, right? So what is the work assigned? They'll write it. Okay, we know that there is building some website or some application related for the website. So that we know it, but we don't know what is that code, how that code is written. We don't have to worry because we are not developers. Now, the very first the code is written, you will store in a tool called Git. Git slash GitHub. Git slash GitHub. Git slash GitHub. This is the tool which you will going to store the code. So this Git slash GitHub is your source code management tool. Source code management tool, or It is also called source code management tool. Okay, for storing the code, not only code, any important files you have, that important files you can store it here. Okay, important files, any automation done by a team, right? Automation files and etc things are stored here. Okay, that is where your GitHub and Git is a command line, GitHub is a graphical user interface. So now, so main purpose for this tool is like, first is the tracking the changes done by folks, right? Second thing, you have something called storage cost optimization. So what are this? Why do you require this thing? So imagine that now in the market we don't have your Git. Imagine that in the market we don't have a tool called Git or GitHub. Then how previously companies to manage the code, how they used to manage the important file storage, right? So imagine that, take an example that previously company didn't have Git. They had something called Windows or Linux machine. They had something called Windows or Linux machine where they're keeping the code. Now imagine that company is keeping a company is keeping all their changes inside a document, in some document folder of one common machine where everyone is using it. Okay, common machine, everyone is using it. Now take this is one of the important file, right? Imagine that this is one of the important file. Imagine that this is one of the important file for a company, and company what they're doing is, in this company there are 10 different people are modifying this file. This is one of the important file. 10 different people are modifying this file in a day. Only I can see the last person name. If you see, the type is Microsoft Word, author is Raj, size is 22 KB, and date modified so and so, right? So now if I say that in a day 10 people are modifying, I see only the last person name. What about the 9 people name? Where are the names stored? There's no name stored. That means tracking is not happening. Very first level. Who is modifying? Okay, when he modified, we don't have the information. Second thing, what did they change in that inside the file? Did they modify something? Did they add something? Did they delete something? What these 10 people are doing in a company with this file, we don't have any tracking. We can't track the changes. It's not possible. Right? So two problems. So now put this in some real-time scenario where you think that, okay, imagine that the Mintra is now doing some sale. Mintra want to do some sale in, like, in this end of this month they want to perform some sale, right? So if they want to perform some sale, if they want to perform some sale, if they want to perform some sale, right? in that situation in that situation, imagine that sale is about in 1 week, and few of the developers what they did, they made some changes, they left the company. Now who, what will happen in this scenario? In that scenario, what will happen? The critical developers who made the changes, they left the company. Now you already showed this one, right? You already shown to the public saying that we are about to release your clearance sale on this Mintra. But few developers made the changes. Okay, they left the work in the half and they left the company. Now, when the new people come and they read these changes, they're not getting any idea that what did they delete, because we don't have a tracking. Which line, which sentence, what they modified, we don't have any information. And they left the company very suddenly. So, what is the impact on your product now? Imagine. So uh, tracking makes very important impact on your company's product, because any none of the employees permanent to company, right? They keep changing. So you require tracking. Even if you make a minor spaces, it's not only in terms of the code, in terms of any automation done, in terms of any new procedures brought, right? So company should be tracking that because it's for the long term goal. So tracking plays an important role. Second, what if imagine that what if imagine that I'm storing a file, okay, which is of some, you imagine that is of like 100 MB, 200 MB, or 1 GB file. If I am keeping one more copy of this file here, if I am keeping one more copy of the file here, I am copying and pasting it here, it is creating a duplicate copy. If I am copying pasting here, control control Z, it is creating a duplicate copies. Now imagine that if I keep copying these duplicate files like this, the number of size will increase. So I want a mechanism, I want some mechanism where I feel that my duplicate copy should not be used. Okay, duplicate copy should not be stored. So in this Git there is something called a concept of VCS, version control system. This will record only your unique changes in your website. It is record only the unique change in the website, right? So what are the code you make it, what are the code you apply, what are the code you use it, so it will record only the unique changes. Okay, it will store only the unique files, unique data, it will not go beyond that. Now, no, so these are two main reasons we are going with Git. One is a tracking, second is a storage cost optimization. Okay, where you store this Git. So Git provides both the benefit of this. Now code is written. Okay, code is written here, right? What is the next step then? The code is written. Yeah, we have to build the software for the application, right? Because for example, I say I want a player, Windows, I want a player, a VLC player in my laptop to be installed. If VLC player will give you the entire files, VLC player will give you entire VLC player files, not the software of that, will you able to install it? We can't install, right? Same way, if you want to launch a website, you require a software, you require a software here. So the second tool which you're going to use is Maven, which is your build tool, which is your build tool. So this build tool, what it does, this build tool has a capability of building your, so build tool has a capability of building the website. That means it will do the build and execution. Build and execution part, right? This will do your build and execution of the code. Do the build and execution of the code. Now, and finally it will generate and it will generate called as artifact. We call it as artifact, which will be in the form of your .var, your .jar. Okay, like same as example of your Windows, right, where you have like .exe, or you get in the form of .zip, right? Sometimes you get in the form of .zip, .exe, right? Same way here we use this one. Same way here we make use of this one. Make use of this one. Fine. Now, so you require to build this kind of a software which will help you to use this one, right? Now, but before this, how people is to manage when Maven was not in picture? Let's understand the traditional system also, how the traditional system will work when you don't have your Maven in place. Okay, no, so let's see the traditional system as well. So in the traditional system, okay, when you have like Linux and Windows machines only, right? In the scenario, what developer is to do is, so developer is to install First, they has to install the Java in one machine, in a machine, and then they used to run this command like Java C compilation. This is called compilation process. Login.java. So they used to do this compilation. This is what a developer was doing. Just understand. We don't need to do this one. Just understand this what a developer does. So compilation so that your hardware can process it. Hardware can process it because end of the day hardware will understand. So what this compilation will do is this will generate a login.class file. So this class file what it contains your binary code which is in the form of ones and zeros. That means computer language. Because your hardware doesn't understand your human language, right? Your computer doesn't understand human language, understand your binary or computer language, and that is where your hardware will use for processing. Now this is what the compilation, and then if you want to get the output, they'll use some commands called java c login.java for their interpretation. We call the word called interpretation. Okay, where you get the output. So this is what they do it, right? This is what they do it for one file for testing or one file for developing, right? This is what they used to do. Now imagine that if this is just one file, imagine that if you see this online websites, how many tabs are there, how many files you require, it huge number of files, right? And also imagine that they have a dependencies where they say that they have to download some 1,000 jar files from internet, because none of the developer will write the code from the scratch. He will download something from internet and then he'll make use of it, right? So in that situation he requires to download 1,000 jars from the internet with exact and compatible version. Exact and compatible version. Exact and compatible version which is required. So imagine 1,000 jars file if you want to download, it takes a huge time. Again, whether this jar will work or not, they don't know. Again, finally they have to perform the bundling. That means they have to create this bundle manually. Okay, bundle creation was manual via your Java commands. Okay, so this is what the manual stuff. So imagine that if this kind of things people will do it in today's world where the demand is very high, will they able to build a website? They can't build. So there is where they brought Maven tool which will provide you user friendly commands. You don't need to do anything, like hardly user friendly commands. Like if you count also, like hardly 10 commands are there which will do it. User friendly commands for, okay, building the artifact. Simple term, it will do everything. It will do your building the artifact, or you say it will simply do your commands for your compile, test, and package. All that things it will do it in no time. In no time it will do it. Now, so this is where the Maven will build where it will build your final software. For example, your I say e-commerce Mintra. Okay, dot war file, basically we use war file which is a web archive. Okay, web applications, right? Jar is for internal purpose. Now so your code is written, your maven did the build, it created software. Now it's time for launching the application. I'm saying application, I'm not saying website. Why? Because website will come in the later stages. Websites are created by us, applications are created by developers. Websites are just a naming convention, main is the application. Now Tomcat. So Tomcat is web slash application server. Tomcat is a web application server, okay, which is used. for deploying the application, which is used for deploying the application, which is used for deploying the application. Application. So you just need to put your e-commerce website warrior, okay, application for deploying the application. Okay, just put your war file, you deploy it. This will give you a URL like HTTP double quote some IP address, right? For example, 10.0.0.4 colon some port number, firewall port number, followed by the application called Mintra. So this is how the internal web application will look. This is how the internal application will look, where you'll be viewing it. So now once you deploy this into Tomcat, you give it to the QA team, quality assurance team. They will be starting their testing. What does quality team does? They do all the functional testing. These people, engineers, will do the functional testing, load testing, performance testing. That means these people will verify whether your website each and every tab is working, whether you're able to make a payment, whether the entire flow is working, whether login logout is working, people able to register or not. All that things will be covered as part of this. No. Now, okay, code is built, okay, code is written, code is built, and Tomcat deployed the application. Now, before this application goes live, before you could create a website for that and put it, Sonar Cube. So Sonar Cube. So Sonar Cube. What is a Sonar Cube? Sonar Cube is one of the static. Okay, this is your static code analysis. This tool. Okay, used to. This is to detect the errors and your virus. Any kind of a virus error is there for the website. Okay, or your vulnerability is outdated code. You say, right? So that is there. Okay. So this tool will also do your code quality check and code analysis checks. Code quality, code analysis checks. Here, if the developer has written duplicate of code, duplication of code, it will detect it. Duplication of code, it will catch it. Same way, if they're like developer made a mistake, how to improve and what to improve. This tool will tell you. Okay. So now also this will generate a reports for client to approve for deployment. So if there are no errors, you give a report. You report to a client, right? You give a report to a client, then only Mintra will go and allow you to deploy the application. So this all these things, because there are certain things which are beyond human mind. Even the developers cannot catch it, right? That SonarQube will catch it. So SonarQube is one of the very important tool going forward. SonarQube will be part of a DevSecOps. There is something called coming in the market called SecOps. It is not yet in the market. It will take a longer time, but it says coming in the market as SecOps, security ops. So that security ops, one of the basic tool is your very first and the basic tool is a sonar cube. Okay, so security is also added here, which you are covering here. Then now scanning is done, code scanning is done. Okay, Tomcat has launched the application. Now just imagine that, do you build this website in one day? Can you build the entire website in one day? Highly impossible, right? Now where do you store this war file, jar file? You have stored your code, you have stored your you have deployed your application, you did a build, right? Now where do you store it? So here also you require a tool for storing it called your JFrog. JFrog artifact, right? So here JFrog artifacts is used for storing the artifacts. Store multiple artifacts, not only this. You store your .exe, .zip, and so your .zip, your .war. Okay, etc. Things will show it all these things, as well as okay. So example, you just need to store your all the websites itself. So why do you require this JFrog artifact tree? Main reason is security, guys. Why? Because so much of effort is put in creating this war file so that your application can launch. Imagine if this application war goes in the wrong hand, what will happen? If application war goes in the wrong hand, what will happen? So people will create a new website called mintra-clearancesale.com. So clearance sale website will go on, right? Clearance sale website will go on. In that situation, what will happen? You will see that it is same as Mintra page. You will make an order. Payment will go to a fraud account. You'll get only the acknowledgement, but you never receive product. That is what happened in the market, which is what happened in the market. That is the reason they brought a tools like a security for the security purpose, proper user management, who is uploading, who is downloading, who is doing what, everything should be tracked here. Then now speed in terms of your downloads, in terms of download and upload speed. Okay, why download upload speed is required? So simple, imagine that now, imagine that there's a clearance sale going on currently running. Now exactly at 12 o'clock is my last time. Now it is 9 o'clock, 12 o'clock is last time. Exactly at 12 o'clock when I refresh my page, discount page should disappear from here and a normal page should come. Okay, normal page should come. Now imagine that I don't have JFrog in my picture. I'm working in traditional system. I'm working in your traditional system where I'll say that in my C drive I have kept all the war files, and my D drive I have keeping my, in the D drive, what I'm saying, I'm keeping my application which is running your Mintra. C drive is a, we kept the war file. Okay, D drive which is live application running here. So if I copy a file from C drive to D drive, how much time it will take? A 10 GB file, if I copy from C drive to D drive, it will take nearly 1 hour 45 minutes, depends upon, right, depends upon the size. So it's a big file. So if copying itself is taking time, will the website able to launch on time? You can't open the website on time, it's not possible. That is the reason, that is only the reason what I prefer is, what the Devops prefer is, you require a good amount of speed in terms to control your upload download artifacts. Okay, it's not that your website, imagine that Mintra has some problem now, some tabs are not working, you have to immediately roll back. Okay, immediately roll back. When you went to roll back, someone has deleted your application, someone has deleted your war file. So in that situation, okay, in that situation, we require a tool which has a proper good amount of download upload speed, has a proper user management. Okay, there we can use this one. So there is where JFrog came into picture, which will help you in storing the artifacts. Fine. Now code is written, Maven build is done. Okay, your software is built, scanning is done, storage is done, application is launched. Now what else you require? Now you see here, previously developer was managing this compilation interpretation. Now he got a relief by this Maven tool, that we are using that Maven tool. He got a relief, he's just concentrating on the code. Now we should also get some relief, right? We also require some relief where we can give. So there is where we are bringing a tool called your, we are bringing a tool called your Jenkins. Bringing a tool called Jenkins. This is one of the most most used and most famous tool in the market. Okay, with Jenkins, which is your, which we call CI also, continuous integration. People ask, right? CI/CD tool is one of the CI/CD tool. Okay, which is also an automation tool, and it has a proper user and access management. Proper user management, proper build management. It is proper build management, proper user management, and most important is the graphical user, guys. You can use your mouse and you can working. That is where the benefit of it is, right? It is a proper email. It will send a proper email notification for a failures. It is a proper timer based jobs, right? Timer based jobs. You can set a timing on this and you can leave it. It will execute its job properly, right? So all this benefit it has. So what you'll do now is you just sit in Jenkins. You don't need to go anywhere. You just need to sit in Jenkins. Click a button from Jenkins. First time you have to integrate this with Jenkins. Click a button with Jenkins. Integrate with your GitHub. Just click a button. Click a button from here to go and clone the code. You'll get your code here, right? You'll go and get the code from there. Second thing, integrate with the Maven. So what are the Maven operation you want? Click a button, you go and connect to Maven, do it. So your work will be simplified now. No need to go to every tool and work on that. Everything you can work it from here. Everything you can work it from here. Okay. All the tools can be integrated, and you can click a one button. From here you can achieve your automation, one click automation. It will clone, to get the code, it will run the build, it will upload to SonarCube, it will upload the JFrog, and will deploy the application. Everything can be done with one click. That level of automation you can achieve it via your Jenkins. Now, what more knowledge you require to work as a DevOps engineer? You require cloud knowledge, right? Cloud knowledge, we'll go to advanced tool in some time. Now, cloud knowledge. So AWS cloud knowledge is required, right? So in that scenario, what all things you require for AWS? EC2 instances. You have EC2 instances. So this is like your elastic compute cloud instances where you can create your machine, because you require a machine creation, right? Same way I told you that Route 53. So I told you that we can create your own website, right? If I give you this URL, will you able to remember? If you, instead of Amazon.com, I'll give you one IP address, will you ever remember? No one can remember, right? That's the reason. That's why I told you developers code will build an application, and then we take this application and create a website via Route 53. Okay, and then you have your auto load balancer. So what is those of this load balancer? Now, do you think this Mintra website is working on single machine? Mintra will be running on hundreds and thousands of machines. So in that situation, how the request, for example, 100 people are making requests, how one request will go to one server? Who will send the request? Who will distribute the work? who will assign the work which is coming from the people heading the request to each and every load balancer. So the requests coming from people are distributed with the help of this load balancer. This load balancer is one which will distribute the load. It is distributing the load, and then you have something called auto scaling. So auto scaling is what? For example, today 1 lakh people joined here. 1 lakh people has logged in your Mintra. 1 lakh people logged in. They are ordering a product. Suddenly there's a sale. Millions of people log in. How you will add the number of machines to your Mintra? How you will manage the load of the Mintra automatically? That is where your auto scaling comes into picture. Where auto scaling will, whenever there's a load on the website, it will increase the machines. Whenever the load is not there, it will decrease the machines. Right? No. Then you have like many things are there. I'll put few of them. EBS volume, disk management. If you want to do some volumes, EBS volumes. Like we'll do the volumes, we'll work on the snapshots, taking a backup of the volumes, we'll work on it. Then we have your VPC. We'll work on the entire VPC stack, whatever is there in the VPC. Okay, this is for your IP addresses range, right? If you want the IP range, then you use your VPC. Then we have something called IAM roles. IAM roles and policies, IAM users. Same way you have something called S3 buckets. Okay, many more of services are there. We'll list down later. So this is the AWS. Now, why I brought this AWS now is because is the company enough? Is this tools enough for a company to run a business? Yes, of course, right? You have everything in this tools. Storage is there and everything is there. It is enough for a company to run the business. That means, is it enough for you to get a job? Yes, exactly, it is enough. That means, don't think that you're learning 15 tools, you'll get the exact 15 tools of the company. There's no burden, guys. This DevOps is very flexible, depends upon what company want to use what tool. If the company says I just want to use few tools and your AWS, you get a job there. Depends upon the job description, right? Or a company says I'm using some advanced tools and I want some little bit of cloud. Depends, we don't know. So you have a flexibility to select your job. If you want to go as a basic tools, you want to go with the cloud, you want to go with the advanced tool. Depends upon that how you want to go it, right? So company has an advantage, you has an advantage, because company will get an advantage because they want to buy the license product, and for you advantage because you can select what you want to, okay, what you want to work, where you want to work, right? You can see different. So this is your flow is there. Now in this there are few more tools available called advanced tools, which is like Ansible. Why people request Ansible everything, right? Anywhere you go they ask Ansible. Ansible is an automation tool. Ansible is one of the automation tool, or it's one of the configuration management tool, right? Automation tool or configuration management tool. Now, why do you require Ansible? Just before I told you, Mintra will not run one or two servers. Mintra will run thousands of machines. If I want to deploy this application e-commerce website in, for example, I have 100 machines where Tomcat is there, where this e-commerce Mintra is there, right? If I want to put in 100 machines, this one, how much time it will take manually? For example, if I say I want to install a software, okay, which has 10 steps, how much time it will take if the same software I want to install hundreds of machines? Huge time it will take, right? In that you'll make a lot of mistakes, lot of errors and everything. So to overcome such this manual work, they brought an automation where Ansible will do your installation, install, uninstall, upgrade, rollback, upgrade, rollback, your deployment, etc. Okay, all these things it will do it. Okay, in, and also it will also do your complex configuration. Okay, in single command. Okay, so everything can be achieved in single shot. So that Ansible is that powerful tool where you just click one command, it will connect to hundreds of machines and install hundreds of commands. So that is where the Ansible is used. So one of the powerful tool in the market for your deployment. This is one of the deployment tool. Hundreds of machines will do the installation, hundreds of machines will install, uninstall, rollback, everything will do it. Again, what I'll say, this command line, once you learn it, integrate with your Jenkins, click one button, one click button, and you'll and your work can be managed by here. You want to deploy, click a button, it will deploy it here. Okay, but for this we have to do the automation, that also we'll learn it here. And then the next tool called your Docker Kubernetes. What do you mean by Docker? What do you mean by Kubernetes? So what is this Docker Kubernetes? Why it came in the market? So main reason for going with Docker Kubernetes is your optimization of the cost optimization, you can say it, right? So basically today, imagine you buy a laptop. How much is the charge of the laptop today? Starting from 20k Indian currency, right? 20k till it goes 3 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs. Then imagine that real-time server which you're running, this real-time servers, how much it will cost. Companies need to pay lakhs of amount to purchase that softwares, or they require a huge subscription for paying this amount, right? So main reason they wanted is to reduce the infra cost. They can't spend it. If Mintra says I want 10,000 servers and one server is costing 10 lakh rupees, Mintra says I want 10,000 servers. Okay, Mintra is saying that my requirement 10,000 servers, and every server cost is 10 lakh rupees. How much a company need to purchase to buy it, right? It will go in crores of amount, which is not sufficient, or which is not possible for a company to purchase it. So there is where they wanted to reduce the infrastructure cost. That is the main thing. Second thing, they have a containerization concept. So this containerization will work as a micro virtual machine. That means this containers will create a micro virtual machine. Okay. Micro virtual machine, that may your applications are lightweight. We make your application lightweight. Okay, lightweight containers and images and Docker images. Okay, so lightweight, right? So lightweight containers and Docker images are here. So your main reason is two things. One is reduce cost. Second thing is, okay, zero downtime for zero downtime for application. Okay, easy rollback and upgrade. In case you want to rollback and upgrade the application, easy way of doing it, within fraction of second will do it. So what is, how can I justify this one, right? Simple terms, see this YouTube is there. In this YouTube, now tell me, in this YouTube, if I say this one, saying that, if I say that I am opening a YouTube in one tab, you're opening a YouTube in one tab, some other people are opening YouTube in one tab, everyone has a YouTube one tab. If there are how many people in this world, you can't even give an exact number, right, where how many people are using this one. So reason that reason is that if I say one YouTube which I'm playing requires one machine, imagine how many machines your YouTube might require. Same thing if you have a Netflix, right? You have a Netflix. If you go to a Netflix and open your Netflix here, right, and imagine that one user is paying one movie in their laptops, their phone, and everywhere. In that situation, if every person requires what do you say? Every person requires one machine. How much time it will take? Okay, how much time it will take for them to increase the infrastructure, how much machines they require? It's very difficult, right? Imagine millions of people are there. For millions of people, they can't purchase millions of machine. One machine will cost 10 10 20 20 lakhs, crores of amount they have to spend, which is not possible for companies. There is where they bought the concept of containerization. What will happen here is, In one machine I can create your, okay, 100 or more than also you can create your containers. This container is like your small, it will act as a virtual machine inside your machine, as a small virtual machine inside your docker. There is a docker is a mechanism which is very lightweight, it will act as a container. So you can put 100 containers, that means your machine is always reduced. Your 10,000 machines will come to 1,000 servers in case you go with this concept, right, which will reduce the cost drastically. And moreover, you can create this container in fraction of seconds. For the same thing, if I say add more 5,000 machines to Mintra, if I say add more machine than Machra, the time will be taken. You require at least 2 months, 1 month of time to setting up that machines, putting your application, right. That is where the containers are very fast, reliable. It has zero deployment process, right? No application downtime. That is where the benefit of this Docker Kubernetes. Again, what you can do, click one button and connect it to your Docker Kubernetes in case you want. Okay. So this is your two advanced tools. Now the one last tool which is left is your Terraform. Why do you require Terraform? So Terraform is used for performing your infrastructure as a code. Infrastructure as a code tool for infrastructure as a code technology for your infrastructure automation. Okay, infrastructure automation. Infrastructure as a code. Okay, so this is your entire flow of your DevOps and AWS where you will be using it. Now this work is divided into small pieces. That is what I showed you the projects, right? That kind of a project video. This is the overview now. Now we'll be splitting this into the projects and we'll be working on this part. Okay, that means all the tools cannot be used together. Something has some purpose. Okay, so that purpose you have to fulfill it by working in your projects. Working in your projects, you have to fulfill that entire flow, right? That is how. For example, you have Kubernetes. So this is how you use a Kubernetes flow, right? With that tools, Kubernetes will come as a flow. Okay, where you use your deployment in the Kubernetes. Same way Docker and Kubernetes, right? Same way you have one more where you use your Ansible deployment, VM based. Ansible is machine based deployment, right? So that you use for machine based. So likewise, we'll be dividing these projects into multiple variations so that we'll understand that how the company works, okay, what level of different flows it has, so that you'll get a clarity on your entire work, entire courses, what you've achieved it. That is where we are going with this flow to understand this one. Okay, this is your end-to-end flow. Okay? Any questions, guys? Any queries, any doubts? Any questions, any queries, any doubts? Any questions, any queries, any doubts? Okay, then come to the last part and we'll wind up. Accelerating your career, right? Most important thing, how do you accelerate your career? So gain skills in DevOps and AWS engineering, guys. Okay, as much as you can gain it. Proper roadmap. Start with a proper roadmap. You start with Linux, you start with AWS, you start with your DevOps. Doesn't matter. Linux is a base, but start with Linux. I prefer, let's start with the Linux. Go with the fundamental first, so that your hands will be clean. Because till now you're working in completely graphical. You're not using command line, right? Now you're turning to the world of command line. So first learn Linux, which will make your hands free. Then go for the DevOps or cloud, anyone is fine. Okay, go for it, and then start. Okay, start in the end. Start learning your monitoring tools. Okay, this is what the flow which you're going to cover as part of this. Now, second thing, know your understand the DevOps market. Go and research what is DevOps market, how much is a job, how much is salary. Because end of the day is what matters is salary, not your company, not your job, right? Not your company, not your technology. So end of the day, what you take is important. So research every place, research the job, research the stability, and then okay, if in case you want to get certified only when you join a company, you work in a company for 6 months, then certified. That will make some sense. They'll give you a real time exposure. Don't do the certification just for getting a job. It is like not recommended. And second thing is it is not useful also. Why? Because no one will judge on certification. Definitely people will ask you questions. People will make your check your understanding here. They will ask your they'll check your how well you're groomed and everything. They'll check it, right? So in case you want to do it. Every two level certification is there, which will provided by Amazon itself. So Amazon will give you two certification: level 1, level 2. Level 1 is solution architect. This is question and answer. Level 2 is your sysops, which is the completely practical, completely practical on your application. So and also it provides you DevOps engineer, and this is for developers. Right side for developers, left side for DevOps engineers, and the top is a DevOps engineer course. Okay, DevOps engineer, in case you want to register. But I recommend don't do it until your company is paying for it, because it just has 2 years of validity. After 2 years, it is useless. It doesn't make difference. Again, they'll ask you to write one more. So better write it when your company is paying it and put your effort. Once you go inside a company, start learning from there your certifications, but don't do it now. It will not help anyway, because end of the day people will have to judge you based on your performance, not on your certifications, right? Right. Now, hope you might have got the idea which all industries are using DevOps, which all places you have to search for the jobs, okay, and how much is the demand. Demand is with the population, guys. As soon as the population grows, the demand for DevOps engineer will grow, and there are huge salaries given for it, because we are the one who is responsible for entire website maintenance. We have multiple tools, right? So the demand is also very high. Okay, salary is very high, demand is very high. Okay, where I've seen like Citibank is giving 23 lakhs for a fresher. Like if you go for payment gateway, this Indian salary I'm talking. If you're US, UK, and different places, the salary is much more better, right? If you compare in Indian currency, at least you're earning like 5 lakhs per month, 4 lakhs, 7 lakhs, 8 lakhs month, right? So that if you compare it with outside one, right? So a good amount of salaries which you are given outside as well. So demand is more. So explore it, guys. Exploration is required. Check everything, right? Take your time, research it, and then take a decision, because the journey should be smooth, guys. Journey should be very very smooth. You start your journey with the course, end your journey with the interview. In between there'll be little bit hurdles, there'll be little bit difficulties, but don't worry. Go on, right? Once you achieve it, once 6 months you work in a company, after that your life will be like a very beautiful life. You'll sit and earn money, right? Because once you know the work, right, you can go on. It's like a smooth process until you learn the work. Like it is a little difficult, but then the starts the journey. When the journey starts, and when you jump a company 100%, 200%, I have even seen people for 300% going hike, right? So like people who have like 20 lakhs of salary went for almost 52 lakhs of salary. So that is where I'm saying like lot of scope is there, lot of demand is there, because today's demand is what any website should be 24 by 7 up. You see your Amazon, Flipkart, any website, right? You order your bill basket, your Zomato, Swiggy, your Zepto today, like very famous in the market, right? 10 minutes delivery, Blinkit. So that has a huge demand. So that's the reason this DevOps plays a major role in the real time, where all the websites are managed by DevOps, and all the data, all the infrastructure is stored in the cloud. So a lot of demand is there. Take your time, okay, take your effort, and then put some research it here and there, and then go take your decision, right? So that is what I suggested. Any questions, any queries, any doubts? Any question, any queries, any doubts? You have any questions, any queries, any doubts? Feel free to reach. Any questions, any queries, any doubts, and you have some message, this is the number. In case you want to contact them, just take a screenshot. In case you want to contact, you want the this demo recording, you want some diagram, or you want some other thing from this institute, or you want to have a call with me one on one, that is also fine. They'll arrange a call with me. Okay, anything you wanted, you can just talk to them. They will arrange the things for you. Okay, any questions, any queries, any doubts? Any questions, any queries of any doubts? Oh, this is May. Okay, just ignore it. It's like not April. This is May. Maybe like typo mistake. So, any questions, any queries, any doubts? Like few more folks are also waiting. They also are there. Like we had one more folks are there who are will be joining. Maybe today they couldn't join, but mostly people will see the recordings and they'll come back. If you have any doubts, go back to the recordings. Okay, uh, take your time, research everywhere, guys. Take your effort, right? Research. It's important you research first the technology. What is the salary? What is the demand? What is the uh, future? Right? Explore everywhere. See the work. How many openings are coming? What is the senior level position salary? Everything is research because it's a journey for next 10 years, right? Don't just take it light, because it's not that today you learn this course, tomorrow you learn some other course. It will not work. Spend your time, take your time, take some research, and then go ahead with that. Fine. Any questions, any queries, any doubts? I appreciate to answer that, if anything. Fine. If no questions, then we can
No
wind up.
doubts, no doubts.
Okay. Okay, then let's take a pause
Thank
here.
you.
Still you have a doubts, you can go and call institute. They'll arrange a call anytime. You can reach out to me. Fine. Have a good day, guys. Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.